Hello, you all. This is Angela with Surrender for Sanity, where you succeed, not just survive. Now, I was reading 1 Samuel chapter 9, and I noticed a lot of things along throughout this chapter. I took away a lot of key points, so to speak, and I wanted to share them with you. Now, the first thing I noticed when reading chapter 9, now this is where Samuel anoints Saul. Now, it says in the very beginning that Saul stood about a head taller than everyone else, and he was a very handsome young man. Okay, so he stood out. So that's the first thing I noticed, is that Saul stood out. Okay, and that's what I can say about us. Each one of us, we're going to stand out. There is something about each one of us that God has given us, a gift that is going to help us accomplish our purpose. It's going to stand out from the rest. All right. So you don't have to be jealous, so to speak, of anything else or another gift that someone else has, because their gift is unique to them. All right. That's the first thing that I noticed. And now within this chapter, you can go back and read it again on your own time. Saul's father, Kish, sent him and the servant to go out and look for the donkeys because they had gotten away. They got lost. So they took the long route or long way around looking for the donkeys, and they were gone for a while. So after a while, Saul told his servant, said, you know what, we better go back, because father is no longer going to be worried about the donkeys. He's going to be worried about us. So the servant said, you know what, instead of going back the way we came, why don't we go over and speak to the seer? Let's go speak to him, and he will tell us which way to go. So the seer was Samuel, of course, and he's a prophet. So that's what they called them back then in the Old Testament, seers. So, and he said he will tell us which way to go, basically the quickest way to go. So that's another point. Instead of relying on your own understanding or even just seeking prophets for words, we have the Holy Spirit. Each one of God's children, we have the Holy Spirit inside of us, which is the mind of Christ. So the prophet should only be confirming what God has already said. So we should be going to God first, seeking the Holy Spirit for direction in which way we should go. I think in Psalm, I can't remember which chapter it is or which verse in Psalms, where it says that God will instruct us in which way we should go with his loving eye on us. So seek the Holy Spirit, go, pray and ask him for guidance and direction. His way will get us there quicker than anything we could have imagined. Even with all the setbacks and disappointments that we have experienced in life, God is the only one that could catapult us ahead if we're doing it his way, seeking his plan, his route, his direction. Okay, not the way that other people think we should be going, or what they think we should be doing. If you know what God has told you, you have to stand firm in that unshakable faith, doing things his way and God's way only. We must be obedient, all right, if we want to succeed and not just survive. All right. So then another thing I noticed as I'm reading, another point that I took away from this, is that Samuel told Saul, he said, come eat with me. God had already gone ahead of, and told Samuel what to do to anoint Saul. He had already spoke to him about the plans, or what he wanted, what Saul was going to be doing. All right. Because Saul, or the prophet Samuel relayed that information over to Saul once he did speak with him. So basically what I'm saying is this: God has already told the Holy Spirit, like I said before, it's in his scriptures. He's already told the Holy Spirit, relayed over. He only speaks what God says. So you have to seek him to know what to do. All right. The Holy Spirit. So Samuel told Saul, he said, come eat with me today. I want you to eat with me today. He had already laid aside a piece of meat for him. He said, go sit at the head of the table. And that's just like God. He's already got something laid aside for you if you just follow his plan. He will sit you ahead at the head of the table, or seat you up high so everyone can see how he's going to bless you and what he's laid aside for you. But it's up to you to surrender and maintain that posture of surrender so that you do succeed and not just survive. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. And even Saul was like, well, basically, I'm paraphrasing, what have I done? You know, how do I deserve this favor? Oh, goodness, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm out here at the park. So he's just basically saying, what do I deserve this favor? Because I'm the least in my clan. I'm not even a Benjamite, I think is what he said. Let me see here. Yeah, he's not. He said, I'm not a Benjamite from the smallest tribe. And it's not my clan, the least of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. All right. So I'm sorry, y'all, for that noise there. I'm sitting here at the park. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope that didn't throw off your train of thought there. But just seek God, seek the Holy Spirit, you know, have a relationship with him. You don't have to go to a prophet like they did back then to figure out what you need to be doing. You need to go to God and have intimate time with the Lord, as well as the Holy Spirit, you know, in your prayer time, and let him tell you which way to go. And then maybe when you may hear a word on YouTube or something that I've said that may be more of a confirmation for you. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you today. And then, yeah, in the end, when it was all said and done, it's not in this chapter, Saul did end up dying by his own sword because he got jealous of David. You know, when he tried to kill him, he was losing it when it was all said and done. So I want to say that with you, just like I said earlier, or share that with you. You don't have to be jealous of anything else, of anyone else. You stay in your lane because God has already given you something. Just like Saul, he stood a head taller. He stood out from the rest. He was very handsome. God has given you something as well, each one of us, to stand out, to accomplish that purpose. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.